What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining me today. This is my final UPSL game analysis for this year, this season. I am very excited to share it with you. It was a fantastic win. We ended up scoring twice in the second half and had a fantastic game. I think this was really hard fought. It was freezing cold outside, tons of fog. Excuse me. Excuse me. We'll be back. Okay, we're back. So again, tons of fog, tons of rain. Really cold against crosstown rivals. This was awesome. Let's hop into it. All right, so I am playing left back in this game. We are kicking off from left to right. We are in the black kits. I am in the top of your corner of your screen, and we are going to start right now. So ball gets kicked off. This is the first kick of the game. Ball gets played out to our winger, plays it to me along the line, and then this is a really bad tackle just kind of cleaned it in the ankle. Wasn't super terrible, but it was like the first play of the game, so it made me really nervous. Ball comes into the back post and just out by our center back, no problems there. Ball gets played over to me. I try to flick it forward. It's kind of an awkward ball. I'm coming backwards because the wind was coming at us. I probably should have been just a little bit deeper there. Ball comes up. And this is just making sure we press, try to get the ball up to our center mid, and then that guy gets in front of it with his head. So a little bit unlucky there, and then just chasing back to put pressure, and we get a goal kick. All right, next play comes out from our center back. Ball comes out to me. Turn, play that little center mid really quick, which is a great play. That's fine. Ball comes out to me. I'm going to pause it right there. So there's a couple different things that can happen in this play. So we have a 2v2 up front. I don't know why our winger and our center mid are, or I actually think that's our winger and our center forward, are so close together. We have our number 2 at the bottom of your screen in a great position, and then we also have our winger in the kind of on the right side of your screen now, who's doing a great job at staying wide. I think oftentimes it's really easy when the ball's on the left side or the right side, it's easy for those wing players to tuck back in. So just be aware of that. If you are especially playing in a 4-3-3, those wing players, their job is to play really, really wide. You watch old Barcelona film from like 2011, 2010, you look at guys like Pedro and Messi, and they are stuck on the touchline. Those guys are super wide all the time. So it's really important for you guys, especially, even when the opposing outside back, so if I'm the left back, my right winger needs to stay as wide as he can. So when that ball gets switched, then it's super easy for him to take on that defender 1v1. Okay, let's start again right now. So again, taking a touch in, playing our center mid, he loses the ball. He played kind of nervous that first little bit, just because he actually used to play for this team, so that's why. So ball comes out to me, drive forward, play that ball into our center mid, and then he turns out, and I don't think gets fouled. I don't think that was a foul, just shoulder to shoulder. This is, again, great pressing from me on that winger, just reading that pass and then playing it into the center, who almost gets it into me, just body that outside back so we get the ball, press again, and then it makes him make a mistake. So that's that throw in right now. Ball comes, ooh, almost. Okay, so right idea though, right? So playing the ball, this is just a pressure. He's a left-footed player, so I'm showing him into the middle, right? There could have been better pressure from the center mids there on my team, but that's okay. That ball was supposed to go to the guy that is now pressing the ball, but mispass on my part. Free kick here, good free kick into the box, gets a good flick on, and unfortunately we get a decent shot out of it, gets blocked, but that's all right. Ball comes out to me here, and I'm going to pause it as I kind of am sitting here. So our winger is, you see him doing this, he's like asking for the ball, but there's 3 guys behind him, and then 2 guys in front. There's like 7 dudes or 6 dudes in blue right around the 2 of us. So I think the best option probably in this case scenario would have been to play it backwards and come over to our number 2, or cut it. That blue guy would have dove sideways, get around him and hit it, clip it over to our number 2. That's what I could have done. Our number 10 is in a really good position right now because he is not being covered by anyone, which I think is awesome. And so that's also an option. But again, I'd probably have to go through either our center back who's next to me or the other center mid who's like in the center circle. So that's something just to think about. We'll play it out right now. And again, right decision was to go backwards, so play it there. And we'll go forward. So this is just a covering run, making sure that that guy doesn't get it. I clear it right out into the center, and they get a shot off. It was lucky it didn't go on frame, but that's all right. Ball comes out to me again, play that 1-2, and then he does a good job of getting the ball to the top of the box and getting a shot off. So great play there, really quick passing, no issues. So this ball comes out to me, little header forward, try to get it into our center forward who does a good job at keeping the ball and laying it off. Next one, I'm overlapping, just being aware like where my players are. Big touch forward, ball comes in. So that ball, I'm pause it right now at the end. So that ball definitely could have gone. I think our center forward knew that I was trying to play him to feet, so he was going to check to the ball. But I think in that case scenario, yes, maybe I could keep running with the ball, but I'm kind of thinking about it now, looking at it like it was a 1v3 in that center forward position. So was he the best player to get the ball? Maybe. Again, our 2 is in a really fantastic position as well. So do I have the awareness next time to, as I'm driving forward super, super fast? Again, this is a very elite technique. Like this is not something that I think most players can do, and I'm still working on it. I'm not good at this yet. And keyword there, yet, right? Is to sprint forward with the ball, but also be looking at the far side, because if everyone's shifting over towards me, there's an open space, as you can see, where that number 2 is, and the closest player to him is either behind him towards our goal, which is an easy, I hit him and he goes forward, no one's marking him except for their outside back, and we are a 2 or 3v1 in that situation going against their left back. So can I get my head up and can I get that ball over to the number 2? That's an easy clip ball for me. I'm left-footed, so I'm dribbling with my left foot. Can I just clip it across and get a good counter going on the other side, make that whole defense shift, and then maybe I run in behind as everyone's shifting and he hits the ball into a back post cross and we get a good opportunity, all right? So just think about that from an outside back's perspective when you're playing as a right back or a left back. Can you get those crossfield ball switches, almost like a Trent Alexander-Arnold to Andy Robertson type vibe, right? So they're hitting the ball every once in a while. It doesn't happen every game, but sometimes when that switch is on, they play it to the other side of the other outside back and then tuck in as that defensive midfielder. All right, right now. Okay, next play, ball gets played out to me, and then that's just a big touch forward, trying to find that center mid, and then he plays the 1-2, get the ball back up to him, and then he tries to play me the ball again, but it goes a little bit over my head. I think he tried to play the winger there, so that's all right, no worries. Good pressure on the ball here. Again, then our winger does a fantastic job of coming in and covering for me. So I'm going to pause right at the end of that clip. So this is something for wingers. This is a tip for wingers and outside backs, I would say. So as an outside back, my job is to defend 1v1, right? But it's also to hold that guy up, especially if I'm playing a 1v1 to goal. So in that scenario, could he have beaten me down the line to get a good cross in? Absolutely. He's not. I knew he wasn't going to, right? So what happens is if I, as an outside back, can hold him up and be patient, then tip for wingers, especially in a 4-3-3, the tip for the winger then is to crash that player. So double team that player. And as you saw in that play, it was very, very easy for that winger to then double team, and I was holding him off, and he wasn't going to get past me, and then the winger comes in, steals the ball, and we break, and I'm there to cover him so that as he's going forward, we have a defensive player right behind him. So that's something to think about as a winger and an outside back. That dynamic has to be there. All right, here we go. Ball comes out to the winger. I'm going to overlap, plays to our 10, and plays out to me. And then I'm going to whip in a good ball there. Oh, ooh, this could have been a goal. Oh, it was a goal. Okay, whoops. I'm just going to let this play out. And I'm going to pause it at the end of this play right now. Okay, perfect. So I forgot that was my assist. Okay, so here's where this play is really great. So if you notice, we have an overload on my side. That ball kind of it wasn't super clean, but it got out to me. I take the touch down and in front of me, I'm looking up and I see our center mid, our number 10, who's pretty tall. He's like 6'2", and he's great in the air. So if I see him, I know, and again, this comes back to the point I was making earlier about the winger. The winger's job is to stay really wide until that ball comes in. Lo and behold, our winger and our outside mid had, or our winger, excuse me, and our center forward had switched. The guy who scored was actually our center forward, but he had drifted off to the right because our winger had come inside. And so what happened there is, yeah, okay, maybe our number 10 could have flicked the ball into the back of the net. That's fine. But in that case, he missed it, or it went behind him or whatever. And our crashing winger, again, had stayed wide. And all of a sudden, the outside back's looking at the number 10 who's come in. He's sitting by himself wide and makes a great finish. So again, these are things that are all building on top of each other. So really notice how I'm attempting to give you my best advice, but notice how it all builds on top of each other, because you can see the principles happen earlier on in the game. We get those opportunities over and over again, and you see the good habits of sticking wide, getting good crosses in, the 10 crashing, we've got an 8 and a 6 covering him. All of those pieces come together, and of course, they make for a goal. So that's awesome. All right, here we go. Next play, little free kick, back post, and we almost went in. Good job by the center forward, and then a foul gets called, I think, on this one. So that's a bummer. Little throw in to our 10 again, plays it down to me, and then I'm going to drive forward and just, again, that ball misplayed, should have gone in, or I should have kept going, and that's all right. Okay, ball comes out to me. See, that was a double team. I probably should have taken a touch there. That was my fault. Tried to rush it too much. So I come in and make a run, take a touch, and just my touch is a little too heavy. I probably could have just done a little bit lighter there, so no issues. Ball into the winger, cuts back, and then plays the 10. I play the 10 back, and then this is a great sequence of play right into an opportunity. Unlucky, but good sequence of play there. Next one, now we're into the second half. Ball gets played over to me. Good touch forward on the ground. Little 1-2, and then shot on goal. I probably could have hit one of the center mids there, but that's all right. All right, corner kick. Really good whipped ball in. That definitely could have been a shot on goal, unfortunately. Okay, so here I'm gonna hold him up. Winger does a good job again of crashing, and he's not gonna get past. Now there you go. Yep, exactly. So see how that works, right? So I'm just forcing him to play backwards. No problem. That ball bounced against my knee. Bloody heck. Mistakes happen. That's okay. Always improving. All right, so there, good save by the goalkeeper, and then I'm just legging it out to get the ball up and out of play. Probably could have played the winger there who was in tons of space, but a guy was right on my ass, so I was not interested in doing that. So there we go, recover, get close to the guy, make sure he doesn't, there we go, and then play the ball out. So poke it out as soon as that winger does a good job of closing down. Quick free kick to me, and I'm taking my time, nobody's pressing me. Okay, cool, that would have gone top corner, goes out for deflecting into a corner kick, and then we get into the next play. Okay, corner kick comes in, that's me right there, boom, over the crossbar. Bummer, got to keep my head down. That's all right. Next play here. Again, I'm going to pause it right here. Okay, so if you noticed, watch what happened. As soon as, and I was really harping on this, our first half and especially our second half, it's very important if you're playing football in general, right? But it's so important that if you have one player, your center forward, your 10, your wingers, whatever, are pressing super high, the entire team has to go with him. So what's happening here is our number 10 pressed their center back, or their outside back in this case, and their winger, who I have sprinted forward to grab, he has gone really deep, which means, oh, by the way, there's less forwards to mark, so our whole back line has shifted over to the left side. We've got a guy covering their center mid and another guy covering their other center back, and so we're way up into their half, and this is the type of pressing that I love because it triggers as soon as that center forward goes, and I don't know who said this, maybe it was Guardiola or maybe it was Cruyff or something like that, but the first defender is the center forward, right? So that makes sense. So the first defender Our first line of defense is the center forward. He's the one who dictates when we press, how we go, what direction we're going, etc. All right, I'm gonna play it out right now. So again, I'm pressing up, making sure he doesn't play, and just blocking the play out. So that's good. Smart defending, great pressing there. All right, this little play in, play the center mid, and then we get out of it. So pretty lucky there going through his legs, and then our winger doesn't do a very good job there, but that's all right. Okay, so then ball comes out to me. I'm going to take touch inside, explode in. There was just one extra guy there that I should have noticed. So working on my dribbling inside and then get the ball out. Again, that's me to play the ball out to the winger, and we get a foul, which is great. This is a free kick, goes straight into the wall, play a little hit ball over, and we almost get connection there. So unlucky, but again, like these are just little things that I'm starting to fix, these tiny little details, and it goes from there. So this is just a clear ball, punt it straight up, and we break. This, I'm gonna be honest, that was a completely lucky, like, yeah, I knew there was a center forward there, but that was a pretty decent ball actually. Here we go. So this ball, I'm gonna pause it right there. Okay, so this is an opportunity that honestly, I was pretty angry at this guy. And again, MJ, love the guy. This is just a situation where he did not read the play well. If you notice how we are attacking, I've made a trench run. We are like in the 80th minute right now. I've made a trench run around him. He has to reward me. Midfielders, forwards, you need to reward your outside backs who are making trench runs in the 80th minute. If I make that run, and oh, by the way, they know that I can cross the ball in very effectively and I can finish and do all that stuff, you have to reward those runs because those are the runs that are making the difference. Those are the runs that are overloading your offense. And it's so important to recognize where that is, because if you notice in this little play, I'm by myself. There's no one within 10 meters of me. There's an outside back that would probably press over, but I got him in the bag. That's no worries. MJ is by himself, and we have a center forward who's actually our number 10, or 10's pressed up, and he's behind the center back. What does that mean? That's a 3v2. That's a numerical advantage. And in football, you have to understand numbers and space. That's all football is. Numbers and space. Where are the numbers? Where are the numerical advantages? And where's the space? Space on the left side. There's a 3v2 on the right side, which he tries to cross it in. And we're down 3v2, right? The opposition has a 3v2. If he had looked and if he had continued looking at the left side, what would have happened? You know? So we'll play it right now. And again, it's a decent ball, but it's just not. And I was doing this. I was like, are you kidding? I sort of swore at him a little bit because I was so pissed. Yeah. And then ball comes in, plays out. All right, here we go. So big free kick over to my side and just driving forward. There we go. Out to the winger. Plays the ball in over my head, which is fine. Just a bummer, but that's all right. We win the ball back. No stress there. And then I get the ball inside, touch it to my center mid. He does a good job playing. And then we get out to it from our center forward, who then gets a good free kick. Or throw in, my bad. Okay, throw in again. Here we go. So big throw in up into our center forward. Center forward does a pretty good job at getting it down. And we just, again, aggression. Good. Whiff shot on goal. That's fine. Mo, I'm really sorry I put that in here. All right. Good ball into the center forward, or that's the 10 maybe who was pressed in. Maybe better control there, but that's all right. So then here's me again. Take the touch forward, around the guy, and get a throw in out of it. So no worries there. Just, again, putting constant pressure going forward, relentless pressure on them. And yeah, here we go. All right, so there we go. Win the ball off that guy. Take it in, little touch, bang. Keeper spills it. Center forward should have been there maybe, but that's all right. All right, so this is me. Hit it up to our center mid. Goes through the center mid to the forward, and then he drives. And this is our goal. So it's a good setup play from the back, our second goal. And we were so stoked because this was like the 87th minute. We were all so excited. and you can see all of us running over just because it was like such a big deal to beat our crosstown rivals. I was really excited about this. Yeah, so good. Love this moment. Love those moments where you win the game like 2-1. It's been hard fought, super aggressive. There's been yellow cards flying all over the place, and we go from there. Keeper throws me out the ball, take a touch, and play the center mid. He tries to play the center back and actually does a pretty good job there. So good touch. All right, this is just a 1v1. Go straight into our keeper. I've got that cross covered. And he lays down, and that is the game right there. So last play of the game was defense. All right, guys, so that is the game analysis. I think overall there are tiny, tiny, tiny little details that I think are super important that will take my game from here to here. Like, it's a huge jump, and that is something that I'm looking forward to in the next couple weeks of trials and of getting sorted with a new team. That is something that I'm going to be focusing on huge, is just decision making in when I'm moving at 100% pace or 95% pace, when I'm going really quick and the play is happening super fast. How can I be super mature, calm myself down, get into a space where I make the exact perfect decision for that specific moment? Maybe there's 2 or 3 different perfect decisions, but if I make the right call, that's where it really elevates that game. And so, you know, again, did I think I played well in this game? Absolutely. I had an assist and had basically the pass through the midfield to break the lines to get the counter to the other goal. So again, yeah, I'm playing well. Defensively, I'm playing well. I'm cutting off passes. I'm doing what I need to 1v1 to hold those players up. But again, like, I want to be the best outside back on my next team, like, period. Best player on my next team. And that comes with making really, really good decisions all the time. So whether that's in a rondo in training, or we're at a game where we're playing crosstown rivals, you know, if I'm playing for the Seattle Sounders and we're playing Portland Timbers, who are our rivals, where are the little moments in the game where I can make the best decisions possible? And that's what we're looking for. That's it for the video, guys. Thanks so much for joining me today for this game analysis against Sporting International. It was a fantastic game. Love to get the big W and on to the playoffs for the team. If you like this video, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It's free, and I produce tons of content, at least 2 videos a week, and we are having a great time here. As always, guys, be awesome, take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.